Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's April's video already, so months are flying by. Starting off with a few red squirrels, then went to Kendal on the way back and saw some quite interesting activity. I always struggle to see tree creepers, but we actually saw two together and they were actually passing food, which I guess is when they're pairing up ready for mating. Never seen that before, so I was quite pleased with that. Then of course, with it being Kendal, it's the usual grey wags, dippers, probably goosanders, but I'm not going to apologise for that because I could watch dippers all day, every day. I hope they're breeding okay. I haven't seen any of the young as yet. I thought I would have done by now, but saw a quick view of the resident mink, which isn't good, so I hope that's keeping away from them. You never know what you're going to see in Kendal, really. I really didn't expect to see this gorilla. Life size as well, I think. It's massive. Little grey wag puffing its chest up. And wren's up. Nice to see a wren out in the open. I don't usually get them in the open. And pied wags seem to be very active at the moment. This is a composition, 3 shots showing them in flight. I wonder why they call them dippers. This was also an interesting one. This is back home again. Jackdaws on the back of ponies, and I put a message out asking why they would be on the back of ponies. And apparently it's quite a common thing where they pinch the hair to line the nests with. Makes sense. Now, this was a sad thing to see. Little egret with a dead leg by the looks of it. I don't think it'll last long. It didn't seem to be bothering it, but can't see it lasting. Then we saw the first grass snake of the year, but grass snakes, unlike adders, seemed really fast. That was away in the blink of an eye. Then up on Kirby Moor, kestrel and red grouse, meadow pipits. Always windy up there, but nice on a nice day. Then back local again to a local barn owl, which I've been watching it for a while, but I've never seen it catch anything. But this morning it actually did the business. Didn't think it was going to, but it was fence hopping, hedge hopping, sitting on posts, but it knew what it was doing, and eventually it got the prize. Gives you a great feeling when you come home after an early morning walk and you've seen the barn owl. Been out the last 3 or 4 days, I've not seen it. He's got the eye on the target there, and luckily it caught something. And back to its box. We had a trip round the south end of Walney. Started off with some goldfinch, lapwing. They're always nice to see. Very calm day for Walney. We're very lucky, but the only problem is we get a bit of heat haze, which doesn't help when you're using telephotos with converters on. So a couple of nice wheat ears, which is good to see. Nice red-breasted merganser. And often it's that calm on Walney Island. A beautiful day. Very vocal, that merganser. Now, next day back home again, and very misty morning, very misty. So there's a couple of deer under a tree, and then I realised that you can't see it there, but the barn owl was sat in the tree above them. Came on its favourite perch again, but mist really played havoc. I had to do a lot of playing around to make it look anything like. Yeah, there's barn owl sat there in the tree. You can just about see it in the middle now. That's how foggy it was, or misty. Back to Kendal to expect the same things. Not doing very well seeing the kingfisher in Kendal. I know they're about because I've seen other people's photographs. I used to see them quite regularly. But anyway, I'm quite happy with the dippers. I'm not quite sure what this purple splodge was in the river. It almost looked as if it was bubbling. Thought it was frog spawn at first, but never seen anything like that. I saw my first orange tip of the year. Then Saturday we had a run to Heybridge. If anyone's been to Heybridge, you know how narrow the road is. And a little convoy of off-roaders. I'm glad I wasn't driving coming the other way, that's for sure. Nice to see the pied flycatcher at Heybridge. And a white throat that was singing its little head off. We saw this one sheep in the field, not at Heybridge but nearby. And I think it might be a merino sheep, but God, it must have been hot. You could see it panting on there. And a quick look round Foulshaw. Tiny little lizards. Look at the size of that screwhead for comparison. But we did see quite a nice wheatear at a lot nicer distance. Beautiful little birds. Then we had a call in at Leighton Moss at the Sea Hides here at Morecambe Hyde. And they're thinking, what's that avocet doing? And then you realise, oh, hang on a minute, I've seen that behaviour before. I know what's coming next. So the exact same behaviour with great crested grebes last year. He's just getting himself ready. Will he or won't he? Yes, he will. And away. Well, she wants a bit more, but I think he's had enough. Lots of avocets at Leighton Moss this year. I think it's the best year we've had for them, and they're coming in fairly close to the hide, which is nice. This particular visit, they were squabbling a bit with the black-headed gulls. They hadn't started making their nests, I don't think. They were still fighting for territory. But there's a good number of them. And they certainly can hold their own against the black-headed gulls. Avocet's a symbol of the RSPB, of course, and I can see why. They're a beautiful looking bird. Nice when you see them with the wings open. Quite a few waders about Godwits. Starting to come in. There was a lot more the week after when we went, which you'll see shortly. I really should record the sound, but it's always that windy, and I've got enough stuff to carry, really. Anyway, it's a nice Godwit, you know, God's idiot. Nice snipe here. Not often you get them in the open. Quite pleased seeing that. Tell this commentary's live, can't you? There's another shot of it. Beautiful birds. Then we saw our first 2 grey-lag goslings. I thought that's unusual. I bet they've had lots of young, but there's only 2 left. And they were the first ones we'd seen, so... But then again, there's marsh harriers everywhere. I'm sure they would take them. Can't make my mind up if I like marsh harriers or not. They're quite a stunning bird, but certainly took enough photographs of it anyway. Flyby by the grey-lag goose, tufted. I think that's a potchard. Somebody will tell me if I'm wrong. There's always a thrill when a swan flies towards you. Size of them and the wingspan, brilliant. And back home, the next morning, nothing much around. Then this roe deer was spooked by something or other. It ran all around the field, then it ran right up towards me. Went up on its hind legs like a kangaroo and let me take its picture. Looking a bit tatty at the moment. I think they must be shedding the coat. Realised what it had done, turned round, walked down the road and off. Another shopping day in Kendal, so I go down the river while my wife goes shopping, and all the ducks were just sunbathing. That's how warm it was. Then I got to see this pied wag very close up. Normally they don't hang around, but it let me video it, take pictures. It's quite a good view, that, of a pied wag. A different grey-lag with a few more goslings, but I'm sure they have a lot more than that. I haven't been seeing much in the way of herons recently. This one's at Leighton Moss, and it was doing its best, but it never caught anything while we were watching it. I had a good look at the water's edge, had a walk through the grass, but it didn't get anything. This visit to Leighton Moss was a week after the previous one, and the avocets look as though they've made the nests and they've got the territory. So hopefully we'll have some chicks in a few weeks' time. Lots more Godwits turned up this week. There was hundreds of them. On the way back from Leighton Moss, we stopped at the river at the side of the main road there. There's two swans, obviously paired up. They were mirroring each other perfectly. I was hoping we were going to get the heart shape, but we didn't. Everything's happy one minute, next minute they're off. Don't like intruders. This particular place, there's farmed roe deer, and I filmed this just because the jackdaw again is picking up all the loose hair. I didn't even realise he did that until I saw the ones on the horse. And it's obviously quite a common thing. This male roe deer's had a problem of some sort. He's lost his antlers. Excuse me. Looks a bit sad. He was well away from the herd as well. Good old chaffinch, greenfinch, goldfinch. And another pied wag, looking quite spectacular. I did say this month I was going to really try and get more, excuse me, more kingfishers and barn owls, but I've tried on the barn owls quite hard, but I haven't even looked for kingfishers. Maybe next month. A dipper having a dip, whatever next. Even that robin had just had a dip, he was still wet. And this last bit's a trip to Hodbarrow. So I started off with a nice wheat here. We really went to see the terns, which there's plenty of them about, but we had to walk around a different parts of Hodbarrow to where we've been before. Skylark was nice to see close-ish up. Mostly sandwich terns, I think. Although there were little terns, but not very many. This oyster catcher put a nice display on. Nice day for a paddle. Quite a few eider ducks around as well. And the sandwich terns were diving in getting the sand eels, and then they were taking them back to the nesting area and passing them over. But they dived that quick. Could have done with practicing a bit more, I think, really. They were so fast. Nice little stone chat. Willow warbler. And a house sparrow. Again, sandwich terns. There's one on the way back in with a sand eel. To give you an idea of how many birds are there. These are all sandwich terns and black-headed gulls. This was quite sad though. This eider duck had got itself stuck in the fence. Couldn't really see how it got itself stuck, but you couldn't have gone in to save it because the water was too deep and it was down a very steep banking. Shame really. But my mate Keith made up for it because later on we found a lamb with its head stuck in the fence, so Keith went in and rescued that. Another orange tip. The Canada goose having a fly around, low level. Another nice little stone chat. One of my favourite birds. Then back home, and I haven't really seen much, but I did see the roebuck. I think he saw me as well by the look of his face, but he didn't seem bothered once he realised I wasn't a threat to him. Anyway, that's it for April. I don't think I'll be posting anything else this month, so if you can, please subscribe, like, share, comment. I'd really appreciate it if you could. Bye for now.